What does a business partner actually cost you?
A lot of it comes down to making decisions. The profits might be like 50-50 for sure, right? But what a lot of times decisions aren't 50-50, right? It's unfortunate that sometimes, partners aren't able to talk to each other in that manner. And it costs the company a lot because we have to backtrack. We have to do all these other, things to make it better. It's interesting to see that dynamic unfold when times actually get really, really tough.
Ray, welcome back, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, man, really, really great feedback we've gotten from a lot of the folks that have been listening to the series. A lot of good feedback from the financial foundation with the subtopics, and then also, with business structure and setup. A lot of great things. A lot of people talking about, hey, it was helpful to everything that Ray was talking about with choosing the right business entity, all the way down to the business accounts are non-negotiable. And I always love the partnership structure and tax implications, right? So
Right.
I always thought those are great topics that we got. Today, we want to go into, we're going to be talking generally about partnership and team economics.
Mhm.
And the first topic that, we'll be talking through today is the true costs of a business partner,
Yeah.
right? So let's talk about this. So beyond splitting profits, which everyone always wants to talk about that, what does a business partner actually cost you?
Yeah. So I think what I've seen whenever maybe family members or friends or whoever get into business with each other, I think there's a lot of communication that doesn't get expressed. One, because you have this dual relationship. One, your business partners, two, your friends. And it's hard to split between, hey, is this okay to talk about? Are they going to be okay? And, you're also thinking in the back of your head of how much, will relationship strain, not just business wise, but also, friendship wise. Sometimes there's a big history with that. So a lot of it comes down to making decisions. The profits might be like 50-50 for sure, right? But a lot of times decisions aren't 50-50, right? Someone might have a more powerful say at something. You might think that the other person's going to carry the situation or the event or pull the project from their end through. That might not happen. So you have to come in, and be able to provide that gap, right? Fill that gap for them. So, and that's the big one, is just being able to make executive decisions and seeing who those partners react to the right way. So it's a little tricky. You'll have one that's just like, this is for sure. Like this guy is the decision maker. He's at the actual leader, even though you guys are partners. Or they just have certain lanes where it's just like, look, the finance part, we're going to go with this expertise part, maybe in this technical field. They're the ones making more of the decisions, relying on each other, which is great. You have a symbiotic relationship. But, for the most part, when it comes to the really hard decisions, like, hey, do we, skip, with this client right now? They're not really doing great, or what have you. They don't really work well with us, or what have you. You have to make those hard decisions. And it's unfortunate that sometimes, partners aren't able to talk to each other in that manner. And it costs the company a lot because we have to backtrack. We have to do all these other, things to make it better. So yeah, that's the hard part about partnerships, I think, is the ability to communicate well. And if you don't already have that baseline of where things are going to go during, specific times, or just, figure out like, hey, at the end of the day, you have the final say, let's go, and we'll make it happen. So yeah, it's interesting to see that dynamic unfold when times actually get really, really tough. So I don't know if you have probably some experience with that as well.
You know the drill. I mean, thanks for opening it. I mean, I could go on a whole 1-day episode, 8 hours about this, right?
Right.
So I would say one of the true costs, to your point, obviously the obvious one is, hey, there's a splitting of profits. There's the equity, decision-making, the speed of creativity, the control decisions. Those are all things that are table stakes, right? And they do have to be discussed in person. To me, it's holding people accountable. That's the true cost, right? Right. Think about that.
Yeah.
You and I are partners. and we already are part of investments, right? And we do hold each other and our other partners accountable. And it's very structured, but also very great communication between us. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the thing I would tell to the people listening in here is when you have a partner or partners or people that you're working with, you need to make sure, number one, you establish clear guidelines between everyone on what everyone's roles,
Yeah.
responsibilities are. Like an engineer, for example, as you notice, Ray, could be someone that's building, a software engineer. A finance CFO person, expert such as yourself, could be responsible for money that's going in and out, the
Right.
organizational structure. People that are in BD are responsible for, doing, the actions of going out and trying to land business. And then you have the operational folks that are organizers. But I
Mm-hmm.
think when you think of just what I've shared there, it's the ability for people to be accountable and say, okay, in any business, or let's just say even a small business, can't make excuses up, right? Like
Yes.
imagine
Yeah.
I kept telling you, hey, Ray, something happened. Oh, I don't feel good. Something's
Right.
happening. But then it became a constant thing that happened, not just for weeks, days, months. And it just
Yeah.
became a pattern. And then I tell you, hey, Ray, and think about this statement in a startup atmosphere. Hey, man, there's something going on in my house or something, and I can't do anything right now.
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
be out. You don't hear from me for days. As a startup, that doesn't fly.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
type of,
Yeah.
this is not corporate where you're protected.
Yes.
This is
Right.
not corporate. And I hate that. I absolutely freaking hate it. I will not work with people that make excuses. I know you don't either. And the point is to communicate. And the advice I would say, that's the cost. There's
Mm-hmm.
resentment that's built. There's the cost of losing money,
Right.
people's time, my time, your time, other partners' time. And when that becomes constant, you could tell on people's patterns. But I
Right.
would just say to avoid those costs and to focus on what the goal of the business is, why everyone's involved. You said earlier, everyone gets a chance to split equity, income, but save everyone's time. Be
Mm-hmm.
forthcoming, communicate. And there are people that struggle with communication, so it's up to the other team members to, balance it out, as you and I have done with some of our other partnerships, other things that you and I do. But everyone knows their strengths and weaknesses. But don't hide behind the corporate language to say, hey, I can't do this today, but then you feel like you're going to. There's no protection when you're in a startup. There, it's all or nothing in regards
Yeah.
to what you're
I
doing,
mean,
as you said.
yeah. Yeah. It's definitely like a speed of execution, right? It's like,
Yeah,
when you punt it, it's like it just festers and it gets worse and it
yeah,
costs us more money, whether it be making decisions, something falling off. Like opportunities don't happen all the time, and they just don't fall in your lap. Sometimes you got to make them. And, making those decisions, ultimately gets you luckier to the next opportunity as opposed to waiting, hoping that something happens. And, you know, I don't like it when people like think that someone's going to save them. They're like,
yeah. No, and that
yeah,
absolutely,
I hope
absolutely.
that so and so takes care of it. Or Erwin takes care of it. Let Erwin take care of it. And it's like, yeah, man, like you are not the greatest partner right now because you are, putting too much emphasis on, delaying
Yeah.
anything.
And
So
there's a lot of folks, to your point too, a lot of people are going through personal stuff as well. So I never discount that.
yeah,
We're also not, this is going to sound bad. We're not a after school special.
yeah, no, that's
I
that's
don't
a
mean
hundred
that in a
percent.
bad way. It's just meaning you know what you signed up for. And if you're not
Yeah,
ready, that's why not a lot of
right,
people could do this.
right,
So,
right.
no, but this is great, and Ray, on this one, I just want to thank you for joining here, and for the folks listening in, guys, please follow, subscribe, give us feedback, ask questions, book Ray or I or the team members to give you some time. Let us listen into what you're trying to do. We're here to give you that one-on-one time, and on behalf of Ray and myself, thank you guys. On the next episode, we will be covering, hiring versus contracting, so with that said, thanks, Ray. Appreciate you.
Thank you. We'll see you guys.